Hello, everyone. Good evening. We're all here because we're all Lucas Bouchard lovers and we adore Chris McNally, right? I'm a fan of myself because I don't know, even though he didn't have much time tonight on the screen, he did look quite dapper, don't you think? Quite the dapper guy. Hi, everyone. Did anyone else catch the big oh that Nathan heard from? I don't know what Nikki's saying. Hold on, I'm gonna put a little dot right there. Um, yeah, that little one there too. Just marking so we could talk. Just waiting for everybody to pop in. So this episode was written by Derek, and Derek, he's very sensitive to the characters and their backstory. And yes, he is the one who wrote the breakup scene. And I remember him saying that he agonized, that's me paraphrasing, but he really agonized over it because he wanted to get it right. And I know a lot of us that are Lucas fans were not happy because it was like seconds long. But we have to remember that who knows how much of it was cut out. He's not the director. He's not in charge of what stays and goes. But I always find that whatever he's writing is is good. I usually like it. So I did like this episode tonight. There were some things that I think we could have done without because I don't understand how they fit. But that's for tomorrow, right? We'll chat about that tomorrow. So let's talk about Lucas. Something I found interesting before I get into everyone's comments. You see my hashtag the gov t-shirt. Something I found interesting was that I was watching how many, and it was 9:13, and we still had not seen Lucas. How many characters they just got in and sandwiched in those first like 13 minutes of showtime. Of course, not all the 13 minutes that was showtime there. I think there was there a commercial in between there? I'm not sure. But anyway, I think there was. We saw everybody. The only people we did not see by 9:13, I mean, even kid-wise, we saw them. The only people we did not see by 9:13 was Lucas and Faith. But Faith was not in this episode at all. So we saw, and Molly. Faith and Molly were the only two until 9:13. We finally saw Lucas. And I didn't count Edie because I don't consider her yet to be like a main cast, even though I know she's working towards that. So we finally get to see Lucas at 9:13. And it was like for less than a minute. And of course, that was when Allie and Ollie came. Ollie, people are calling them, shipping them Ollie. Oliver and Allie came for a visit to chat about what was going down with the cattle, and they found this pathway. And I knew that pathway would have been too good to be true because it just seems so simple. Why wouldn't someone think of it before? I've had my suspicions about all of this all along anyway. But I was like, why is it that children get to resolve the problems of the adults? I find that funny. But in true Lucas fashion, the real Lucas that we know, he listened and he doesn't belittle. He values what they had to say. He treated them with respect. And he went on to go find Edie. He closed shop, which was against kind of Mitchell's thoughts. I'm wondering if Edwin knows something. So anyway, I know, Lillian, that's what I was getting to. I was thinking this. Yes. I was thinking to tie it all in because I think the whole town gets involved with these coins, that it's going to wind up being on her property. Yes, 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 and a yes, yes, yes. So now we go over to 9:27, still nothing with Lucas until he goes into the diner and she's like, I hope you'll have dinner with me. And he's hoping to have dinner with her. And he kind of is disappointed, but the tell with the ring. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's something, And then he says, that's your tell. And he kind of told her, I got your number. I know something's wrong. And she doesn't want to explain herself. I love that there is this like thing between them. Do I think that she's a bad person or a bad guy? No. But I like that there's a bit of mystery that's unraveling, but they can't deny that they are attracted to each other. I'm not saying they're falling in love. There are people like, I put this really gorgeous photo that Eric Gow, who is Mitchell, Edwin Mitchell took. He took beautiful, like behind the scenes. He took a couple, like about 3 or 4 of Miranda, and he also took some of Jada. There, I didn't post hers yet. Really nice. And when I put hers up, I said, "Hey, Lucas Bouchard, for the hashtag, come get your girl." Just because Eric is taking his photos, he's, his character's supposed to be working for him, that kind of thing, just for fun. And someone's like, "Oh, no, not now. Oh, that can't be. Oh, no, it's too rushed." Let me say something about this. I don't feel it's rushed. I like the progression. I love the chemistry. And I don't feel it's rushed. You can feel it's rushed. But if you look at the history of couples on When Calls the Heart, the only relationship that they drug out was Elizabeth's relationship, first with not with Lucas, first with her husband Jack, and then they drug it out with, coming up to Lucas, and now with Nathan. So the only real relationships they ever drag out were hers. Everybody else's were like sometimes quick. And I'm like super quick. And I'm like, wow, even Rosemary and Lee were quick. So I'm okay with it. That's me. But I liked also how they were in keeping with his character when he came to speak to Edie about Oliver and Allie's ideas. He was like real respectful in a funny kind of a way, and said, complimentary things about them. And that is Lucas, and very much the Lucas that I love. And I'm glad that he's got like this softer personality as the weeks have going on this season. And I'm really excited to see how the mystery encompasses everybody in the town. Let me see what you all have to say. I had to get all my words out. All right, let's see. Let's go all the way up to here. And I had caught something right away when I was first coming in. And it was something, I don't remember who said what. It was this, Constance. Hi, Constance. Derek Thompson wrote a great episode for tonight. Chris and Edie, that's funny. Lucas and Edie are getting closer, and it's about time. They are. And I would really, really, really like to see more screen time with them. But I have to say, they've done a good job that every time we see them, their relationship advances. It's not like filler. There's a little more that we learn about her. There's a little more we see about the two of them and getting along. And I like that. It's not like this dragging out that's good writing. Every time we see them in a scene, there's an advancement towards the relationship and their storyline together, which is a good thing. And very consistent because, different writers have written all of those scenes. And I'm thinking, if you could do that, you could do that with all the scenes, right? So I feel like if we had more story time with, we could have had more story time with Lucas and Edie, and less of this play. There was far too much of the play. And we could have used that time, just like last episode too, we could have used more time with them together. Let's see. Hi from snowy Western New York. Yeah, we're going to be dumped with some snow. There was something, Nikki, you had said. I want to know what that was. Did anyone else catch the big uh-oh that Nathan heard from Toddy at the party? What does that mean? I'm not sure what you mean, Nikki. Are you talking about the property? And that's probably where the gold is? Tell me, let me know, because I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Lucas and Edie were about 4 to 5 minutes screen time. I haven't had a minute to map it out, but I do like the time that they spent together. But do you know what I find? Like, and I know we've all mentioned it. It's as if those two are in their own little world. They don't really react and together. And I know this is how they're writing this story, and it's not real, but I feel like I feel sad for Lucas because I feel like he's so removed. And I was thinking this. I was thinking he's so busy. He really doesn't ever just have a drink with his friends. We don't see that. It's almost like he has no downtime. And I'm thinking this. And the next thing you know, here comes Edie who wants to play cards. But of course, she had an ulterior motive and he called her out on it. But then afterwards, she said, "Can't we just be friends playing cards?" And he, gives her the cards to deal. And I thought, and he goes, "It's a welcomed exception," which I liked, and of her being there. And I was thinking, yeah, okay, so she'll be his downtime. And maybe that she'll bring that out more in him, like give him an opportunity to not be so much about work. I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel with that. The clue is gold, the gold watches. So this coin / robbery story connected to Edie's uncle, the rancher who passed away. Yes, somehow it is. Somehow it's buried on that property. And Lillian says it's so predictable. Margie, Edie was keeping it close to the vest about the alternate passageway. Yep. They acted as if Lucas couldn't figure things out by himself and the children had to find the pasture. Right. Maybe the man she says was her uncle was really her husband. She wasn't married. She was engaged. And that really was her uncle. Because she would spend summers there. I don't think it's as nefarious as that. I think when she's like attorney-client privilege kind of thing, I don't know. I think that's going to be a fault. I think when they're going to get closer, and then Lucas is going to be disappointed when he finds out how involved she is, and that will cause them to be like, not like have an angst, because it'll remind him too much of, the things that Jeanette supposedly did. So I think that's what they're working towards. I love that Lucas is reading people again and knew that Edie was something more to say. Yes. Elizabeth jumped into the relationship with both feet before Lucas even made it back to Union City. She was already setting her cap for Nathan. Yes, but prior to all of that, and you're right, even that moves fast. Prior to all of that, the only relationship that took 952,000 years, and it wasn't even really Jack and Elizabeth took that long. It took them long to get married. It was after that it took her so long to figure out if she wanted to be with someone, like drug on forever. And then she's with Lucas, and as soon as she's done with Lucas, boom, she's with Nathan. So when people say things are too soon, why? Everybody else is quick in this show. So it's not, I don't know. I love the chemistry between the two actors. And I know that she is there for him. That character is specifically there for Lucas because of all the time they invested in him finding someone to play that part. And Chris, had to spend a lot of time in one day looking at many people and figuring it out. And I love that he said because he said they were all good, but what did it for him was how she had that unspoken language with the eyes. And I thought he's like that too. So as actors, they click. So I feel like we're going to see more chemistry. It was good seeing Lucas in his lovely office again. Yes. And did you notice that? It always looks like a beach scene to me. That photograph behind him is back. So yes. We have quite a bit of snow here. Oh, they're talking about the snow. Curry. The gold and the ranchers are connected, and Edie is their attorney. That's my prediction. Okay. I'm with you. Arlene, I don't feel it's rushed between Edie and Lucas. I really felt a sense of Edie pulling back from Lucas in the diner. Her ring finger touch, it is relationship, ghosts, or the uncle land coin connection. When it first happened, and he looked at it, she was thinking, oh, do I want to get involved? Do I want to do this? But afterwards, when they had the conversation and he said, you have a tell, and he tells her what it is, I'm thinking to myself, and then he lays it out. You know what I mean? Like, I got you. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so it's not really about past relationships. It's about her being involved. And I love how she kind of said to him, pretend you don't even know about it. Don't even go there, kind of thing. So she's already torn with her position. So she probably never thought, of course, that she'd have feelings or like him so much. I don't mean feelings, oh, I love you. I meant feelings, like you care about somebody, you like them. And I really think in the end, it's going to be not good, but they're going to build up to it. And then we're going to have a new season where they're, trying to figure out that relationship. And I just hope they have way more screen time for it. Sheila, I thought it was interesting that Lucas said Edie came to him in the dead of the night. I know. Yeah, I love it. I know, because when she first arrived and knocked on the door, I was like, oh, you bold girl in the nighttime, who let her in? Who let her in the saloon? Lucas seems to always be isolated in his office. The person he sees most is Edwin. All he does is paperwork. Yes, that's what I mean. We don't really get to see him out and about. And I kind of felt a little sad because he was looking forward to having dinner with her. And I was like, I hope I don't know. Can the romantic Lucas come out again? I would love to see that. He did so many romantic things. He's the mayor now. He's probably not mayor. I'm sorry. He's the governor. He probably has more access to stuff. I feel like he has less. And I hope they invest some time in it. And I think that's what we should be out there asking Hallmark for. I really do. I really, really, really do. I wanted to share something with you. I discovered that. So I'm going to talk about The Way Home for a minute. The Way Home has an Instagram account, The Way Home Hallmark. And it's got the blue check and everything. And so does When Calls the Heart. And I think if you have an Instagram account, if you wanted to every day post something on Instagram about what you would like to see in Lucas's storylines for the future and give some ideas, and then of course tag the official page, you will be heard and seen, even if you tagged Hallmark. And I wanted to also address something I found interesting about the numbers for the viewers and the ratings. Don't let me forget that. It's not something I want to harp on, just something I've been wanting to say and I keep forgetting to say it. Let's see. That was Nikki. Okay. I wonder when Elizabeth got the watch that she gave to Lucas a few years ago. Oh, I don't think that one's attached. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. How on earth did Edie see the light in his office in the back of the saloon? That's what I mean. And who let her in? Because the saloon was closed. Everybody was at home. But then again, people go in and out because they live upstairs, right? And that's just, you know what, Lillian? She didn't see the light on. She probably guessed and went and looked because she's forward like that. That's how we're going to think about it, because I don't think that little detail is going to ever be filled in. Okay. We're going to have to think that in our minds because, it's sort of like the black hole of Hope Valley kind of thing. Chelsea, I'm glad that Lucas had a scene in his office and that Allie and Oliver tried to resolve the issue from last episode, but seems she still doesn't realize she doesn't know the full details. Yeah, I gotcha. I was saying that earlier. I agree. All right, Sheila, I would love to see more Lucas and Edie screen time. I don't understand the idea of stolen coins on her uncle's property. Is that what others are thinking? Yes, we are. It is all connected. There was even a part where they trespassed, they being Oliver and Allie, were going out through the fields. This was last episode, and they went on the trespassed on where they were, so they hid in the bushes. And when they did, we saw two cattle, two cowboys, two ranchers, not seeing their faces, but they showed the spurs of their shoes and whatnot, and he focused in on it, Oliver. I think, again, that this storyline is going to encompass everybody. Everybody's going to be involved in it, the whole town. Sometimes I tag on their Instagram and comment on the Twitter. Twitter is fine. It's especially the reason why I am on Twitter is only for one reason, and that's when I come out to support a hashtag, because like we know, they get collected by Hallmark. If it's a movie, it's their official tag for the movie. That's how they look at viewership. Also, if it's The Way Home, that's the tag they use, and if it's For When Calls the Heart, it's Hardy's tag, and that's what they use to help with the renewal of a show, and that's our way the average viewer can share what they want. But you could go onto Instagram, and you could, if many people are tagging them, and if you do it like for the course of a week or whatever, and you're saying, we love Lucas Bouchard, you make a poster of him, and we would love this more screen time for Chris McNally or whatever, they're going to see it. And I know people want to send an email, and they think that email that they have is the place to go, and then they're mad when they don't get a response. That email that they have is for people who have a service and it's not working, or you have a question about it. It's not a place where you go to send emails for wanting something. That's a wasted effort or energy. Which source are you getting the ratings from? The TN fans are claiming another source, which I doubt is correct. Okay, Chelsea, let's take a minute and talk about this. So I know I'm harping on this. Some people think, but it's out there a lot. Let's just talk about it real fast. There's ratings. Ratings measure one thing. Viewership is different, and it has to be, because ratings has to be scientific. You've got to know the demographics. They've been around forever. And you don't get ratings from anything that's streamed, because there are no commercials and ad revenue. That when they say, and people are still confused, that they do collect from when Nielsen collects from streaming systems, it's because it's a special service that they're performing for certain things, not in general. They can, but it's not that. It's not ratings. It's not that at all. Ratings is live TV, cable, and networks. That's how people with ads know where, like, oh, that show's popular. I'm going to spend this much money to put this ad on while your TV show is on, and then that money is what pays for the show. Last year, in ad revenue, I think between the two channels, it was reported that Hallmark made over $700 million. Okay. Now there's viewership. That's different. That's like, I'm going to talk about Netflix. Netflix doesn't have any ads. Okay. Netflix has, what do they have? They have memberships. And how do they know what shows to put on? Well, shows that people are watching over and over and over again. You keep coming back to watch it, because every time you come back, they put a suggestion for another show in your little queue, right? So, for instance, the longest, Bridgerton, is season 1. It's been out for a while. They have over 113.3 million views. That's people watching it over and over and over again. That has nothing to do with ratings, because ratings is about advertising and money for it. And that's not that. It's totally different. So here's what I find funny. Not funny, haha. I don't care where that number's coming from. So when they show the viewership and they say live +3 plus, this demographic and that demographic, and they add it all up and they say 2.2 million, right? Okay, that conglomerate. But let's talk about something. I'm just going to pick out season 9. When you go to season 9, I'm just picking it out because that's the one everybody picks out. You look at an episode, the live was 2 point something. Just the live was that way. Just the ratings was that way. So if you took those ratings and you would put in all that other stuff, it would have been even higher. Now we've got a conglomerate of ratings and viewership and this and that, and it's just making the 2 million. So it's not the same, and it's not a lot. It's still lower, but that's okay. They're okay with it. It's still good. And someone said, I don't care about the ratings. I'm going to watch the show. I want you to also notice something. Tell me what other show and what other movie Hallmark puts out the ratings for every week. They don't. These are not from Hallmark. That post comes from the producers of the When Calls the Heart. It's not Hallmark that's doing that. Hallmark might say, oh, it was the #1 rated show of the year. They've said that for The Way Home. They said whatever. They're going through ratings and they're looking at cable network and what they come up with the end of the year or the season or whatever. But it is not those posts, and I'm not saying the posts aren't correct. I'm saying that those posts are not driven by Hallmark. Those are ratings that the producers are looking at, and they choose to put that post out. Okay. And that's that story. And I'm tired of the whole thing. Let's see. Let's move on. All the way down here. What's everybody saying? Edie is probably staying at the hotel, so maybe she actually saw the light under the door because she was looking for a way to get to see him. Maybe, Margie, but I think she has a ranch with a house and she stays out there and her office is in town. And she could have been walking over from the cafe, so I don't know, saw the light somewhere. I don't know. We're getting cuckooed over that. I know. What Instagram account should we use? It's the one for When Calls the Heart. It's the official When Calls the Heart one with Hallmark. And you can also tag the Hallmark one too. I'll tell you more about that, Edie. I'll tell you more about that, Edie. Nikki. The path to the pasture Oliver and Allie found might lead to clues to treasure. Yep. Perhaps Lucas will find the treasure everybody else is looking for. I think they're all going to be out there. I think Nathan just got that information now. You think they'll find the treasure? I think the treasure may have been found, actually. It's just buried there for safekeeping. I hope we see more of Lucas and Edie in the near future. I not only feel teased and shortchanged, they sure waste a lot of time on, you got cut off there. Sorry, Judy. Avis, it seems to me that some of these actors spend more time getting into costume and makeup than they are in front of the camera. That is true. And Avis, people were saying that, and Brian Bird made a comment on it, and Brian Bird said, how about a little bit of grace? That's his words, not mine. He said they have such a large ensemble cast that it's hard to get enough screen time for everyone. And I understand that. So I have a massive suggestion. I think that people should be very mindful of every scene. That's good writing. A scene should advance the storyline and is only there to keep on advancing the storyline. If it doesn't advance the storyline, don't have the scene. So there's a lot about this play that we just saw that I don't think we needed to see. Last episode, I thought the whole thing could have been gone. You could have had one fever dream if you felt the need for Elizabeth and Nathan and just had just totally, I don't know. You know my feelings on that. Yeah, it sent your message. I know, Judy. It's okay. It happens all the time. I wonder if the person who bought the salon from Mr. Weaver, Fiona, is actually Edie or the cattleman she represents, trying to get her closer to Lucas, the coin investigation in blackmail situation. I have no idea how that's connected. I mean, anything could be possibility. I would still have to really think more about it, but we're going to put that out there. I agree about the use of screen time for E's big plan and gesture. Edie needs an office. She does, but she doesn't have one. But maybe she's going to buy the salon. Is that what you're going to say? Brian can be very condescending at times. Yes. And I'm not defending him, but I think he probably gets aggravated from all the things that he sees out there. Yeah, it did take up a lot of time. Yes, Nikki. Yes, I got that. Yes, that makes sense. It could be. And yes, it felt like a filler, except the helping to develop Ava's mysterious line. But yeah, they didn't have to do all of that. And I get that and some of the stuff about Rosemary, but it was just There was just too much of it. And how about when they were whispering and saying who could play swashbuckling and this and that? And I'm thinking, well, the governor can. But of course, they ran to Bill. I thought that was funny. I like that. But that's for tomorrow. So I'm enjoying, bottom line, I'm enjoying the Edie and Lucas storyline, and I would like to see it progress. I'm very happy that every time they are together, it does advance their relationship. They get to know more about each other. I kind of suspected that the entire town was going to be involved with these with the coin, and I can see how they might be relating it to Edie and Lucas, and I think some of you even said that before. So you're right, Margie, she hasn't sold it yet. She put the sold sign out. Yes, she put the sold sign out and walked down with cried a little and walked away with May. So it's sold, but we don't know to whom. Yep, they made a big dramatic at the end. I thought for a minute, hold on. I thought for a second that Lucas was going to ask Edie to ride out to look at the new path. So did I. Yes. And I think the entire town will be danger. Yep, over the coins. Yes, they will. Do you remember the last time? Remember with when they introduced Jesse and the whole town was in the center of town? They had the whole big shootout and all the people that were involved with that. Well, that's a connection. So I really think that's going to happen again. There'll be hostages and shootouts and all of that stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Christy. No one was in the salon when Lucas and Edie were there. Once again, no one else in the show were there. Yes, saloon. I'm sorry, saloon. You're right, Christy. It was just them and their storyline. That's what I meant to say before, is very much removed from the entire town. I was starting to say that and got sidetracked. Yes, lots of filler. I'm glad we heard our pastor sing. Henry needs more dialogue, though. Yes, and that's a conversation for tomorrow. I like this episode, yet still hope that Lucas and Edie's bonding will continue to progress. Yes, me too. Yeah, you thought the same for Lucas in the play. I wish they would wrap up the story of this heiress. It's a waste of time unless she is connected to the gold somehow. She absolutely is connected. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a connection. They're all there. Looks like the sickness, yep, hits Hope Valley in next episode. Hope that Lucas doesn't get sick. He's been through enough. Yes, it looks like the flu is coming their way. We saw that. Yep, the epidemic. I think little Jack gets sick, but again, that's for tomorrow. All right, that is all we got tonight for our Lucas. He had a little more screen time. I enjoyed his screen time. I wish he had more of it. And I like how he's such a cutie patootie. His like the personality that I like of Lucas is out more. He's not so grumpy and serious, and I don't know. I like it. Yeah. Yep. Yes. All right. So if you are a When Calls the Heart fan still, you can join me tomorrow when I have the young girls on. We'll be chatting. And it's a different time. It's at 9 because I was accommodating their time. I'm going to recap the episode and first, and then they're going to join me at 9:30. So it's posted, and I think I kind of explained that there was a difference in time. But if you don't make it, then you'll get to see it posted. But don't forget, if you're live, you can ask questions. All right. All right, everyone. You have a good night. I'm looking at people. Lucas may have to join Rosemary's play if everyone is sick. The people are loving that idea. All right. Good night, everyone. Stay warm. And God bless those with the floods. I've been praying for you.